Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at how you can complete the Connected Hope Burst Mode Challenge and get over 6,000 points by doing the Connected Hope Challenge, and obviously using specific characters related to that category. Now I did the Space Traveling Warriors one and that was pretty interesting. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to try and see if I could increase the score by using Connected Hope category characters and just go for something a little bit different. Now I believe this is beatable by using AGL teams and tech teams as well. So yeah, there is some melee ability with Connected Hope. I've at least tried 2 different variants. I like this one the most. It's important that when you look at the modifiers I selected, you understand that none of the attack modifiers were selected, and this is on purpose. The reason why we don't want to select any attack modifiers is we've already kind of increased the opposition's defense, their health, and made this quite a bit of a grind. So how we're going to circumvent this is by having multiple attacks effective against all type characters, and also just looking at having quite a few sizable offensive options. So that's the main focal point, I want to say, of this kind of team build, but obviously it can just depend on a little bit of RNG for you as well. So you might have to do 1 or 2 tries if you're trying this team build. If not, it's okay. It doesn't really matter too much, but it's at least something interesting for you to try and put together. So obviously with burst mode, what is the main goal? Well, the goal is to clear the event with the select amount of modifiers to gain a sizable score, so that you can eventually trade that score in for burst coins, which you can use to get BGM tracks or backtracks. So it's a pretty nice new kind of event that they brought in. I think it's pretty fun. It also gives some stones as well, so there's just kind of a good ideal behind it all around. I think generally speaking it's a pretty sizable, pretty fun kind of category, and yeah, I think overall it's a pretty nice event. I don't think it's anything game breaking, but it's a nice little bit of content. It took me 2 or 3 tries on each category to kind of get a really nice team to show you guys. So for me at least, I find it to be something interesting. So in terms of our team build, how are we functioning? Well, we're basically just going for a pure int team. Obviously that's kind of part of the requirements when it comes down to the actual implementation of the team. But there are some key units and elements. We almost kind of ran a Majin Buu Saga team because that would work. The only real issue is the other units that would boost into your team. So you could run a Majin Buu Saga team. You would actually have majority of this team be Majin Buu Saga. The only thing is the 1 or 2 units that are not Majin Buu Saga would be without a lead skill, and usually I would say that's not a problem in certain circumstances, but it can be in this one. So just to kind of cover the team there a little bit, we are basically running a full int team with a couple minor, well not minor exceptions on the int typing, but basically we're running a Majin Buu Saga team with a couple minor exceptions. Our leader is the Super Gogeta. He's a pretty decent lead after his EZA. He is 130% lead for the int type or super int type, and a 90% lead for the extreme int type, which is how we managed to wangle the Android 16 on here. Android 16 is a pretty important free-to-play unit for a couple reasons. One, he has guaranteed guard against 3 or more enemies. This means that during this phase, where you're facing multiple enemies, he's actually really useful because you can use him to soak up whichever slot is receiving the potential physical super attack, because he won't take any damage. So if you're feeling the heat and you need to recover some health, you can place him in harm's way and you should have a pretty decent time. Obviously the Gogeta, he helps out a lot because he has attacks effective against all types. In fact, a lot of the team have attacks effective against all types, which does tend to make things a bit easier. Goku, when his D transformation occurs, he gets attack effective against all types, which is very, very important and helps us out quite a bit. He then also raises the superclass allies attack by 25%, but only if you have a Hercule, and we unfortunately do not have one, which is a little bit of a shame. If that int Hercule was on Connected Hopes, that would have been a very, very, very cool kind of cross synergy between them. We have Gotenks, the int Gotenks, a unit that's very strong. We're going to save its transformation until the strength phase, and you're going to want to transform him near the end of the AGL phase, or when AGL Bardock's there, or at the strength phase. Whichever one you can handle, depends when you need the offensive boost. I saved him until the strength phase and everything kind of ran more than fine. We have the Super Saiyan 2 Goku Angel, who will transform into Super Saiyan 3 Goku Angel. This transformation will occur eventually once you manage to get to the 2 secondary Boujack phases, so I wouldn't worry too much about him. The big thing is monitoring his orbs. You want to make sure that he gets orbs, and that's kind of where this Vegeta comes in. So this Vegeta, after his EZA, not only is he very strong, but he actually changes tech to int key orbs when there's a Goku on the rotation, and this helps us manage our health and manage the amount of orbs we need quite a lot, which is very, very important with doing such an event like this, because we've set defense modifiers and because we've set health modifiers. These two things tend to make the event last quite a long period of time. The event isn't over super quickly, so what you want to do is you want to actually have some form of sustain, and our main sustain is actually the healing from the orbs that Vegeta generates. So the ability to convert tech orbs into orbs and heal off of those is pretty crucial to the entire functioning of the team. But beyond that, honestly, the team functions more than fine. I wanted to try something a bit different with this build. I didn't want to use AGL as a typing has a Connected Hopes lead, and so does Tech. So they generally run at a bit of a higher lead skill. And it's not to say that you shouldn't do that. Please always do the team build that is best for you. Do the team build that has the best units, the most units or the strongest units that you have, and always try to do that. But me, I'll always try to make a slightly stranger team or an alternative team, just to give people some decent options. I know some people can't always do it with Space Traveling Warriors, or maybe can't always do it with Connected Hope, so it's nice to give two options, and even within those options, it's nice to give team builds that are slightly different. Maybe a nice way to work around things and just set things up. As you can see, we did well, and we even set a new high score, so it actually was even easier to get a higher score with this team. You could actually knock some modifiers down and still get over 6,000, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that is basically it. Now we've done all the missions, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.